Hey everyone, the Green Waifu here. Today I'm going to go over my February recap with you guys. So basically, I'm just going to give you a rundown of everything that I read for the month of February, give a quick little review, and that'll be all. So this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video. I read 24 books for the month of February. Yes, 24. I know, I have a problem. So we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into it. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I actually only read one novel this month. Everything else was manga and graphic novels, like webtoons, but a book is a book. So we're gonna start off strong with the one novel that I read, Nightbane, which is the sequel to Light Lark. I'm gonna drop a little spoiler alert right here. You got like 10 seconds to click out of this video, or just fast forward 10 seconds. Don't even click out, just fast forward. When Grimm said, "Get away from my wife," I lost my mind. I absolutely lost my mind. I know my neighbors were probably like, "Are they okay?" I was in here screaming. I was squealing. I was quaking. Okay, but all seriousness, um, I really enjoyed the first book, Light Lark. I felt like they could have made it a longer book. Like I feel like everything was just really, really crumpled together. But she made up for it with this. Nightbane was crazy. Those last four chapters, I was hanging on for my life. And the cliffhanger, I am going to be fighting people in the store to get this third book because I need to know what happens. Like, this book goes beyond a 10 out of 10. This is like a 1000 out of 10. And if I'm not mistaken, she actually just landed a either a TV or a movie deal for this series. It's either going to be a show or a movie. I don't remember which one it was, but she landed a deal for this series. So that lets you know it's a good series. They don't just turn everything into a movie. So if you were debating reading Lightlark and Nightbane, which again, this is the second book in the series, go get it right now. Next up, I read volume 1 and 2 of Enyale and Duela. I'm probably butchering the name, but you know what? I did my best. Here is volume 3. So, this is a really cute and wholesome manga that follows along a demon and an angel who become really close friends. And it's just really wholesome. It's really funny. They fight a lot. Like, one of them will like use the other one's blush and then will just like start destroying buildings and crap. It's really funny. Like I said, very wholesome. I was really upset that it was only 3 volumes, and I'm pretty sure that the series is completed. I don't think they're making any more. So that was honestly a really huge letdown because I feel like they could have like really continued this on, but I love it for what it is. Next, I read volume 2 and 3 of Goodbye My Rose Garden. Here is volume 3. So, Goodbye My Rose Garden also is only 3 volumes, which again really, really sucks. I feel like they could have taken this series so much further, but I think it's done. Goodbye My Rose Garden, hands down, is now one of my favorite series. It's basically about a noblewoman and a maid that fall in love with each other. Obviously, this is a queer manga. Um, so romantic, so just it gives off that I can't live without you, I'd rather die vibe. Um, 10 out of 10. Like I said, I really wish they had expanded it further and made more volumes. But if you're looking for a very wholesome queer romance manga, Goodbye My Rose Garden is definitely the thing to go for. So if you're just a general book lover, this is also a really good manga for you because both of the main characters are book lovers. They talk a lot about books and literature and writing, and they kind of incorporate that into their love story. Next up, I read volume 1 through 3 of Ice Guy and the Cool Girl. Here's volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. So this is a new series, but it's also ongoing. They have the next 2 volumes up for pre-order. So the Ice Guy and the Cool Girl follows a romance of basically this guy who has ice powers and this really laid back, chill girl who work in an office together. Um, it's just really wholesome and it's kind of cute because the guy has ice powers, but he gets really, really nervous and his powers like react to his feelings. So he'll like see the girl that he likes and he'll just like turn himself into a big ice block. And it's really cute and wholesome. I also really love that it goes at a slow pace. Like they didn't just throw all of the story into the first 3 volumes. It's just really slowly building up kind of them falling for each other. And I'm really, really excited to get the next couple volumes and like see how this turns out. Next up, I read My Poison Princess is Still Cute. This is also a new manga, and it's the only volume that's out. I think the next two or three are up for pre order. So this follows along a princess that like omits poison when she gets nervous or when her emotions are too strong, and she has to marry this knight as a peace treaty, but he's also immortal. So like she'll get nervous and like put out all this poison and like he'll die, but then he'll just like come back to life. And he's just like so head over heels for her. He loves her so much, but she's so nervous and like doesn't know like how to accept his love and like handle it. Really, really cute, wholesome romance so far. Again, I'm kind of like I'm not bummed, but I'm kind of upset that I read it when it's only one volume because I really want to like continue reading it and see what happens next, but they only have one volume out. So again, if you're looking for another really wholesome, cute romance, this is another really good pick. Next up, I read volume 1 through 10 of Vampire Dormitory. I am going to go through and show you guys the cover of all 10 of these volumes. Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9, and Volume 10. So, I'm going to be honest. I ended up being pretty disappointed with this manga. They had me in the first half. Like the first 5 volumes I was in. I was there. I loved it. And after that, it kind of just got weird. The storyline was kind of all over the place. So, the general storyline of Vampire Dormitory is there is this girl who dresses as a boy to be able to stay on this school campus because it's like a boys' dormitory. And there's a vampire there that she starts to fall in love with, but she's disguised as a boy. So it kind of follows their storyline, um, falling in love while thinking that she's a boy, but she's actually a girl. And then it kind of goes into like the vampire world, which is like a whole separate thing. And it was kind of just all over the place. And there was a bunch of just really random stuff in it towards the end where I was like, eh. If I'm being honest, I think this would have been a much better manga for me to read when I was a teenager. As an adult, I'm just kind of like, eh. That's like me picking up Twilight right now and reading Twilight. I would just be like, eh. It doesn't have that like teenage nostalgia. And that's not to say that like this was a bad series, but I think it's definitely something I should have read when I was a teenager for sure. The overall storyline was very cute, but I feel like they really just rushed it into 10 volumes. I feel like this should have been way more spaced out, and it really just seems like they threw in a bunch of really random filler just to hurry up and get the series done. So, the first 5 volumes I'd give 9 out of 10. The last 5 volumes I got to give like a 4 out of 10. I was not feeling it. I read it, but it didn't do what I needed it to do. And if you guys watch any of my other videos, you already know I have a thing for vampires, so I was really disappointed. And last up, I read volume 1 through 5 of Lore Olympus. So I know that this is available to read online for free. I purchased volume 1 through 3 quite some time ago. I purchased the first volume probably 2.5 years ago and just never read it. And I think I purchased volume 2 and 3 last Amazon Prime Day because they were really cheap. So far, Lore Olympus, 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this series. I could sit here and talk to you about Lore Olympus for probably another hour. Lore Olympus follows the love story of Persephone and Hades. But not only does it follow their love story, it also follows like a bunch of the other gods and goddesses. I really like how the author mixed a lot of real life issues into the series. I'm going to drop a trigger warning here because there is some mention of assault, manipulation, abuse, etc. There's one couple that deals with infidelity. There's another couple that is in a very, very toxic and manipulative relationship. There's another character that gets sexually assaulted, and they kind of follow along, how they process that and how they feel. And kind of just how they navigate everything. As far as Persephone, they follow along her kind of coming as age, She leaves her mother, she leaves her home, and she ventures off into the world to be an adult and experience things on her own. And I could really, really relate to that as somebody who basically went through the same thing when I left home. So it's really nice that, like, even though it's made up, there are a lot of real life issues in there that I feel like the average adult could really relate to. And of course, most of us have had our introductions to mythology and whatnot, but I really feel like this was just a really wonderful take and a really nice way to look at it and learn about those gods and goddesses. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the covers of these books. I got distracted with talking. So there is volume one. Here is volume two, volume three, volume four, and volume five. Volume 6 and I believe volume 7 as well are currently up for pre-order, but as I said, you can read all of these for free online, and I'll drop that link below in this video as well. And I did, as soon as I finished reading volume 5, I did go online and start reading the rest of it for free because it's not published physically yet. But it also is really nice to have these in my physical collection because, I mean, what if that website goes down and it's just lost forever? It's always good to have a physical copy of something you enjoy. Overall, Lore Olympus is definitely now one of my favorite series. And again, I'm kind of out of the Lore Olympus loop and I'm very late to the show, but man, if they developed this into a show, I would lose my mind. So that is it for today. Those are the 24 books that I read for the month of February. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to drop any questions or comments below. As always, don't forget to subscribe and check me out on my other platforms. Bye.